Imagine you walk into a house and the first thing you see is a big empty space. Moments ago there were just blocks and dust, but now life begins here. We wondered for a long time, if you can build a house for the price of an apartment, why not make it happen? And that's why we got to work. We partnered with a team that constructs energy efficient houses, and together we launched a project we named Smart Oasis. It's more than a catalog design. It's a space meant for smooth daily living, supported by a dedicated team. So the work went smoothly, and after a few weeks we could enjoy what was just a vision not so long ago. In this episode, we'll show you how to cleverly move on to arranging the living room. As always, there will be some practical knowledge, budget-friendly tips, and a bit of our chaos, because you know there's no episode without it. At the end, as tradition dictates, we'll also share the costs so everyone can see how much you need to spend to create a living room where you actually want to spend time.
Great stories often start with small steps. Ours began with the first panels in the living room.
Did you know the average Pole installs floor panels just once in their life? And it's usually on a Saturday, right before the hardware store closes, when it turns out you're still 2 packs short. Fortunately, we managed to avoid this classic scenario and took care of it ahead of time. Thanks to that, we already have finished floors throughout the whole house, and interestingly, we chose the same type of panels everywhere. Is that necessary? Absolutely not. Today, anyone can have wood like in a noble manor in one room and concrete grayness like in a modern loft in another. We just decided that consistency throughout the house is a little trick that makes the space feel bigger and more organized. And since the floor is already in place, it's time to ask how to cleverly finish it.
We're putting in 10 centimeter high baseboards throughout the whole house. It looks nice, it presents well. In lower rooms you can use 8 centimeter ones, and of course you can use a regular nail gun to help. I have this electric nailer, which you've probably already seen. Sometimes I don't apply glue all over because I put on a bit too much. In some spots everything will hold firmly, trust me. The thing is, if we ever want to remove the whole thing, it'll be a bit easier than if we had put glue along the entire length.
You know what? It's only in shots like this that you can see how a consistent floor works like glue. It connects all the rooms and makes it feel like one big space. The living room smoothly opens up to the kitchen, and suddenly the whole place takes on a completely different character. And since we're talking about the kitchen, in the previous episode, you saw how we put together one set of built-in furniture from 2 different sets. There was no lack of emotions or ideas in the comments. So now we want to make sure that the kitchen and the living room match in the same style. Everyone would instantly notice we're moving to another world. Since the baseboards have done their job downstairs, it makes sense the crown moldings will have their own role too.
Listen, as you can see, the rails are already up. Now the covers are going in, installed just the same way as in the previous rooms. Here's the spot for the LED, of course, because I don't think I showed you before. See, it's pretty cool. It's at an angle, so the light doesn't go straight down, but shines at a slight angle onto the curtain. Whatever you hang there, like curtains. And of course, we're starting here with the first and most important spot in the living room, which is the television wall, measuring tape, pencil, paper. First, I take the measurements and then we get to the installation because I've already prepared the materials.
This isn't the first television wall that Arksy has worked on. Over the years, he's made several of them, from large, built-in constructions with furniture that resembled a home command center, through the recently popular panels and slats, to small spaces that could also be cleverly arranged. Each of these walls had its own character and showed that even a piece of empty wall can be turned into something practical and impressive. Now it's time for a new version designed to match the clever Oasis living room atmosphere.
Let's get to cutting. We have the battens and we need to cut them all to size. There will be a lot of this, but you'll see it sped up while I do all the work.
For many people, building a television wall immediately brings to mind a frame, profiles, a whole set of tools, and a job that takes up half the weekend. But the truth is, you don't always have to go for a heavy construction, which is why Arksy decided to do it much more simply without overcomplicating things or needing great skills. All you need to do is go with wood, which is easy to cut and assemble, so the whole thing is solid and looks impressive. It's a way to make a wall that anyone can handle, even if up until now the only thing you've ever cut is a loaf of bread for breakfast.
Look here, the frame is already done. 2 boards will go onto this frame. But before we attach the boards, I need to fill this space here to match the thickness of this batten. Why?
To make the whole thing really stable, it's necessary to fill the middle. Thanks to this, when mounting the television bracket, the structure doesn't bend like cardboard. after moving when cutting the board to cover the frame. A few extra pieces are also made from the leftovers, which are screwed to the wall with quick mount plugs so that they are flush with the thickness of the battens. This way, a single even surface is created and the whole structure gains the right rigidity. A hole is cut in the board for corridor cables, which are quickly concealed in the wall to keep wires from affecting the final result.
My dear friends, another board will be placed up here in a moment. But before I do that, I'll stretch an LED strip around because the whole thing will be illuminated. And I'll use, just like in the previous rooms, a strip from Action. The LSC Smart Connect system, which means we install the app and the whole house. And when it comes to controlling the starlights, we have it on the phone.
Controlling the lights from the phone. A few years ago, that seemed like a gadget for geeks, but now it's becoming standard. In practice, this means that while sitting on the couch, you can change the atmosphere of the whole room, sometimes creating a cozy home theater, and other times lighting up the living room like at a party. No need to get up or look for the switch. Everything is right in your pocket. After connecting the cables, you can finally close everything up with the last medium density fiberboard boards due to the size of the construction. Well, you can't do this with a single sheet, so it had to be divided into two parts, and that will require sanding down the joint area.
Listen, even though everything is really nice and flush, there are still such tiny, not even half a millimeter, micromillimeter gaps. Well, there might be some imperfections here and there. Well, this is a board screwed onto a batten, so now I'll sand everything evenly, especially the joints. Oh, sometimes there are little lumps here, so we'll sand them down to make the whole surface smooth.
When sanding, small uneven spots or indentations may appear, which is normal. In this case, automotive putty is best. Why choose it specifically? Because it sets quickly, it's hard and durable, which is exactly what you need. When we want to get a strong and smooth surface, just apply it to all imperfections. Wait a moment for it to harden, and then sand everything again to achieve the desired effect.
You can see it in fast forward. I've already sanded everything down. It's normal, perfect. I'll clean it all up in a moment and then I'll mix it. Wallpaper glue, and this is wallpaper glue that you can use on medium density fiberboard boards. So if you want to do something like this, look for this kind of glue in stores.
Now it's clear why Archie was preparing the wall so meticulously. Since wallpaper is going to be put on it, the surface has to be perfect. Fortunately, there won't be a big wallpapering operation here. It's enough to cut a few strips to roughly the same length, because in the end, each piece will be trimmed exactly to size anyway. The glue isn't a problem either. You just need to mix it until it's smooth, and after less than 3 minutes, it's ready to use. But be careful. In this case, you don't apply it to the wallpaper, but directly onto the surface that you want to cover.
It went pretty smoothly. Now I'm taking this special roller for wallpaper and pressing everything down. First, to make it stick better, and second, just to remove the air from under the wallpaper.
The wallpaper goes up piece by piece, and suddenly the empty wall starts to gain character and becomes cozier. And right at this moment, well, look who showed up. Reinforcements who brought the television cabinet. So now we just need to prepare the right mounts, because a television wall like this needs a solid base for the equipment.
If someone has been out of the wallpaper game, wallpapers used to remind me of grandma's apartments, but now wallpapers are just so impressive. Recently, I saw a wallpaper catalog at a hardware store, but Porsche had an entire catalog.
Hey, Wobobin, grab that. You started talking too much again.
Oh, Jesus, you just want to act,
Well, I'm holding it with one hand.
and you would just do things.
Before installing the cabinet, you need to prepare the hanger holes. The drill gets going, dust flies like on a construction site, and that's when a helping hand appears.
And I thought you had dust on you, but it turns out you're just gray-haired.
Mounting the hanger for the television cabinet goes really fast. You just need to mark the level, drill the holes, and screw the strip to the wall. Then the whole thing works like a hook. The cabinet slides into place and holds its shape right away. A few moves and it's done, no hassle, and the result is immediately pleasing to the eye. But this cabinet is an exceptional item from the catalog. If you remember our Furniture from OLX for Free episode, you know you have choices with us to work wonders with old shelves that would normally end up in the trash. Arxie really enjoys dismantling, sanding and woodworking. The result of such actions can leave your mouth wide open in amazement. And it's exactly this kind of transformation, not from any store and not for millions of coins, that is now coming to the clever oasis to enhance our living room and show that cool design doesn't have to cost a fortune. If you haven't seen this episode, catch up. It's a great example of cleverly giving furniture new life and creating something unique.
So the whole thing is already looking great. The wallpaper has dried, so I'm going to start attaching the side.
But in the end, it's all about aesthetics. The sides should be closed to prevent the LED strip from shining directly into your eyes while still providing a soft glow on the wall. I chose an oak board because wood always creates a nice vibe. You just need to cut it, smooth it out a bit so the edges are nice, and glue it to the frame with strong adhesive. That's it. Simple move, but the effect is impressive. The television wall is ready, and now the living room in this clever oasis has its central point. And since the center is already in place, it's time to go to action and IKEA. Furniture and accessories that will give the interior character, they're the ones that will bring color to the living room, make it cozy, and simply make you want to spend time there. After all, as you know well, details can turn an ordinary room into a place that's immediately pleasing to the eye.
We managed to arrive without any problems. Fortunately, there were no adventures along the way. So some of the smaller things are already done. We took them out of the car from that side, and here I drove up to these big doors to unload the couch, but we've already created a sort of, look, a construction, a platform over which I'll just slide the whole thing. All right, I'm pulling it out. Let's see if I can manage. I'm joking.
Assembling an IKEA couch is no big deal. Just a few parts, a handful of screws, and instructions you can figure out in 5 minutes. No tricks, no puzzles. Everything fits just as it should. You just need a bit of patience, and soon a proper couch emerges from the box, ready for its first comfort test.
Well, everything looks nice and beautiful. I rushed ahead, but actually you need to iron it. And we don't iron on the furniture because there's even a symbol here. So we always take it off first. And we'll iron it, and then we'll put it on again. Listen, it can be a bit annoying that we bring a new sofa from the store, and the first thing we have to do is iron it. But it has its advantages, because if, for example, something gets stained, or we want to change the color of our sofa, we don't have to replace the whole thing. We just need to buy new covers.
It's nice that someone finally thought of that. Basically, if something spills on the sofa, you don't have to immediately get a special vacuum cleaner for upholstery. A clever solution, and that's exactly what we like. Then it goes on. An ottoman isn't just for putting your feet up after a long day. It's also a smart storage spot for blankets, pillows, or other items that clutter the living room. Only then is the coffee table added to the whole setup, and its color matches the elements of the television wall. When furniture and accessories coordinate in color or texture, the living room becomes a cohesive, well-designed space instead of a random collection. And that was exactly our goal when creating the Sprit Nawaza project. We aimed for every element, from the foundation to the roof and interiors, to make sense and form a cohesive whole.
Listen, it's comfortable to sit here, but we didn't come to this house to sit. We came here to work. And I thought that I would make something extra for this couch. A shelf in the back, about 20 centimeters wide, not too wide, so it doesn't take up much space, even though it's pretty spacious here. That shelf really works. I have a similar one at home I built myself, and you can put a lot on it. You can put a lamp in the back. It's a functional thing. You'll see what it looks like in a moment, because I've already bought 2 boards and I'm cutting them. And I bought boards like the ones we have on the cabinet here, so we're matching the television cabinet.
I won't say. It would be nice to use the space behind the couch. After all, it would be useful to have a place to put some decoration that will add atmosphere to the interior. Keeping the momentum, Archie makes a narrow shelf out of wooden boards matching the width to the couch. It's not an opening version, rather a simple structure that's meant to serve as a decorative base. But by the way, we've shown before how a similar solution can be enhanced a bit by making top opening compartments. This time, simplicity and quick results win, instantly impacting the arrangement.
All right, it's time to stick the LED here now. Remember to always clean and degrease the entire strip before this, so you don't end up in a situation where if you stick it to a dirty and non-degreased surface, the strip will start falling off later.
A few remaining details can significantly change how the entire living room is perceived. First, the LED strips hidden in the space by the curtains. An ideal choice for evenings when you want more ambiance in the living room than a regular lamp provides. Then it's time to install the frame for the television, and this is where you can see, after company earlier, we reinforced the structure with additional boards. There's no risk of loosening or deforming, the television is secure, and we have long-term peace of mind. Finally, there's the installation of the main lighting, 3 lamps hanging on one rail, which can be freely positioned and rotated. And when Archie starts ironing the curtains in a warm golden color, you can immediately see how the whole interior becomes cozier. And I'll tell you, this isn't the end of the story yet.
Here, in this spot, there will be a small dining area, a table, 3 or 4 chairs, because it's still a bit more a part of the living room. The table and chairs are already bought. I'm going to start assembling them. We'll put it here and you'll see how nice it looks.
It's hard to picture a living room without a dining table. Eating on the couch in front of the television seems nice, but it usually leads to crumbs in the cushions and searching for the remote. A table offers more. It provides a comfortable place to sit, share a meal, and talk together. Best of all, that's not its only role. It's often the center of gatherings, a place for board games, or a spot where you can quickly tinker with something or do some handiwork.
Above the couch, 3 large frames will be hung. I'm wondering what to put in them. And without thinking too long, I glanced at our television wall here and thought that I could use wallpaper in the bedroom as well. This wallpaper is really nice because it has a great texture, and I think if we make some kind of composition on the wall, it will look cool. We'll see how it turns out. Let's go.
Sometimes leftover wallpaper from a renovation can become a small work of art. Large frames and some imagination let you create catalog-worthy geometric patterns. You don't need any special tools to draw the shapes. Bowls, placemats, or anything else you have on hand will work just fine. And that's exactly where the charm lies. Simple things can create an effect that gives the interior a unique character.
But wait, hold on, because guests have arrived to see the results too, so you'll see them together with them. Come on, gentlemen, come on, wow.
Such a difference.
Oh, sir.
Damn, bravo.
Hey, this living room is beautiful.
Beautiful gold, that's my favorite color. I like colors like that.
Hey, but the cabinet, now I know that's great, I remember, but hey, that wall in the back, is it LED?
Hey, actually, what kind of material is that?
Hey, but it's beautiful.
That's wild. I thought it was some kind of paint that imitates who knows what, but it's actually an upholstery material, wallpaper. It looks like some kind of denim, right? So thick.
Beautiful, Arthur, bravo.
Very warm, very cozy, glamorous, I would say, because of all that gold, you know. You take a blanket and just make yourself some warm tea, turn on the fireplace on the television, sit down, and just relax.
I'll be honest with you, it's just ready to move in, like a dream house. Really compact, beautiful, just like that. Only as much as you need and can afford.
And that's exactly what our living room looks like. In this clever oasis, with a bit of work and creativity, we managed to create something really cool without huge expenses and without running around luxury furniture stores. A few clever solutions, well-chosen colors to feel a bit of style and comfort. You don't need designer furniture to make your home cozy and elegant. What's more important is that everything works together and creates a cohesive space where you simply enjoy living. And if you're curious how much all of this costs, take a look at the cost breakdown chart. See the full breakdown in the video description and give us a thumbs up. That's a sign for us that it's worth continuing and showing you the next stages. So we'll see you soon in the new version of the Clever Oasis.